This podcast is brought to you by Martin Kearns and the Valor of Valhalla series. In the battle between two ancient evils, can one naive young man become the last hope against powerful creatures of legend? Beneath the Veil is the gripping first book in the Valor of Valhalla dark urban fantasy series. If you like reluctant heroes, infernal myths, and bloody epic clashes, then you'll love Martin Kearns' formidable foray into the unknown. So head on over to readkearns.com and grab yourself a copy of Beneath the Veil today. Hello guys, and welcome to another exciting episode of Stories, the True and the Fictional. We've got another great guest for you, but before we bring him in, you know what we do here. We ask Ryan, is he still living the dream?
Definitely still living the dream, and I know I say it all the time, but I am a very late night person. I only woke up about half an hour ago, so I'm definitely still living in the land of dreams. Yeah, still doing well. Had a good week this week. Nothing new really. Still got to watch the new season of Peacemaker, the first episode, which dropped I think yesterday. So yeah, pretty excited to check that out this weekend. But yeah, still going good. Lots of reading done. I'm up to, where did I get up to last night? I've slowed down a bit on your book. I'm up to chapter 11.
Ooh, okay.
So yeah, things are moving along quite well. There's follow the wedge tail. It's finally starting to reveal why we're following the wedge tail. And I'm loving it, man. It's a real good in-depth analysis and in-depth look at, you know, how these aliens came to take over the world in Ancora.
Yeah. So for those playing at home, my book Ancora, I've just finished the second draft of the prequel. It is with the beta readers now. And fun fact,
I do have one quick question.
Okay, yeah.
One quick question about it though. There was something that I read last night that I forgot to message you about.
You know when podcast.
Yeah, why not? You know. Well, I mean, you know when Destin finds his grandfather's place.
Yes.
And he finds that gun with two initials on it. Is that who I think it is? Okay,
yes.
Cool.
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry to be vague to our listeners, but I don't want to spoil it. But I kind of thought so, knowing Jamie as well as I do. But I thought I'd just check.
Yeah. So if you want to find out more, you can sign up for a beta reader. I'm just saying. I actually started reading Amy Cormack's. I'm doing an arc read for him, and you open it to the first page, and guess what there is? There's a map. Yes.
Wow.
All right. Anyway, guys, enough about me. Check out our sponsors, Rebecca Cassells, Martin Kearns. They've got some great books out. Check all their links are down below. They are such great authors, such great people. But now, oh wait, I have to do it before Ryan complains. Buy Ryan's shirt.
Yeah, buy my shirt. We've sold one so far, and I found out that was my wife that bought the shirt this morning. I literally found out like 15 minutes ago that she bought the shirt. So I'm very grateful for that. It gives me something to wear on the podcast other than wrestling t-shirts. So yeah, I'm looking forward to receiving that in the post very soon. But other people, please buy my Living the Dream shirt.
Yes, we have a wide range of shirts. They're pictured below. But yeah, now what we're here for. Our guest, Tommy-Lee Sexton. Thank you for joining us.
Howdy. Good to be here.
How are things over in your part of the world?
Well, we just got over a long few weeks of rain, it felt like. Actually, it rained so bad that when I was driving home the other day, a tree limb fell on my car and shattered my windshield. We were all okay.
Yeah, wow. No, we had a crap load of rain recently too.
We did, yeah. I went out in that, and that was fun, going in my wheelchair, doing burnouts. I felt like I was on Fast and the Furious, you know, just streaming around without even trying. So I hope you were insured there, Tommy-Lee.
Yes, yeah, we had good insurance. They covered it completely. So
yeah, that's good. Yeah,
excellent.
That's why I don't park under trees. I live in the Blue Mountains in Australia, where it's trees are everywhere. My town, like, you cannot park anywhere without a tree. It's really hard to not park under a tree. Because that happened to me once, but it landed on as I was driving out, the tree branch fell on my roof.
Oh,
So
Oh
it
God.
missed the windshield, but it just hit the roof of the car. It was pretty amazing. Anyway, the question we always ask, or we always start with is, who is Tommy-Lee Sexton?
I will let you know when I figure that out. No, I'm kidding. Um, so, guess a few details. I live in South Carolina in the United States. I am married to my wonderful wife, who I actually met in ninth grade on the
Wow.
bus.
Oh
And
wow.
we met when I was getting on the bus, first day for me at a new school. And so I'm looking around a place where to sit, and I wind up bumping my head on the air conditioner of the bus.
Oh.
And I turn around and she laughed at me.
Isn't that how all good relationships start?
But it was like, it's like my response was, yeah, I know I'm a complete doofus. I wasn't watching where I was going.
Mm, that's funny. And then you thought, I'm going to marry that girl.
No, no, quick, fairly soon after, but yeah, not quite right.
Not quite right then. No.
Um, and we have two kids, a boy and a girl, who are now in middle school, which is crazy to think about. And we have two rescue cats actually that
Oh.
we found under our crawl space of our house. That at 4 weeks old, we heard meowing, and
Mhm.
my daughter comes out and she's like, I hear meowing, and I think, oh, there must be a cat in the bushes or whatever. And so I go outside, and no sound outside, lots of sound inside. And come to find out, a cat had kittens, and mother had abandoned them, and so they became ours.
Yeah.
Awesome. I like to say that's the cat delivery system.
Mm.
You don't
Yeah,
pick the cat, they pick you. So we've got two
that is
ourselves.
so true. That
Yeah,
is
we've
not the
got
first.
we got
uh,
yeah. Yeah, no, we've got two that we rescued from abusive homes ourselves. So yeah, we have two female cats. So
oh,
yeah, they're very, very good.
yeah, we can't. I mean, right now, we never were going to have pets, but now we kind of can't imagine life without them.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's kick these icebreakers off. Do you want to go, Ryan, or do you want me to go?
Yeah, yeah, I'll go first. I'll go first. All right, question number one on the icebreaker question. Now, I'm going to set the scene for you, Tommy Lee. So, we live in a perfect world, well, almost perfect world. And there's world peace, no cruelty to humans, no cruelty to animals, no war. So, all the political answers have gone straight out the window. Seeing as we live in that world, what is something that you would get rid of?
Those annoying non-removable stickers on books.
Yeah,
The ones that
definitely.
say, like,
Yes.
Mhm.
now a major motion picture, but I can't take it off and it's
Yeah.
ruining the
Mhm.
cover.
Yeah.
I don't care that it was
Yeah.
a movie. That's great. They're wonderful for the author. They'll get lots of royalties,
Yeah.
whatever, if they're still alive. But it's ruining my experience of the
Yeah.
cover that an artist worked really hard on. And
Yeah.
that is, my wife and I both cannot
Okay.
stand
There could be something really important under that sticker.
it. Exactly.
You
Well,
know?
what artwork is being covered up here?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you don't know. I'll
Well,
never know.
that's primarily one of the reasons I went digital because I've ripped so many covers, and it's
Yeah.
just annoying because I'm one like I like to keep my things in pristine condition.
Yeah.
Everything in my house is like my phone that I've had for 4 years now still looks like the day that it came out of the box. Like I'm one of those people. I keep everything clean, clear, good to go. And yeah, I cannot stand those stickers. So I'm going digital. I don't have to worry about it. But yes, I will 100% get on board with that.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, the second icebreaker question is, what is something on your bucket list?
So I have two things that will absolutely never happen on my bucket list I've thought of. One is I would love to play the Phantom in a production of the Phantom of the Opera.
Mhm.
Not on
Okay.
Broadway,
Yeah.
a local production or something, because I'd never made it to Broadway. Um, and I would really like to perform on stage with Gloria Estefan and Miami Sound Machine.
Okay. Okay.
A
Oh,
little different.
No, that's fine.
they're not necessarily impossible.
No.
Just
Corey
highly
Esteban is,
unlikely.
yeah, exactly. So highly unlikely, but still could happen because you never know. Your local production company could be doing a production of Phantom of the Opera,
Yeah.
and you need to go and audition if they do.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
And have you seen the beloved childhood classic Disney movie called A Goofy Movie?
Hmm.
Many, many years ago, so far back that I don't even remember.
Because the son of Goofy lies about going to we're going to this concert and we're going to play live with them on stage, and then they're only going on a fishing trip, and they ended up going and playing live on stage. You know,
Yes. Yeah. That
it's
is vaguely familiar. Yeah.
it is one of my all-time favorite kids movies. It was just way better than it should have been. Um,
Hmm.
so it's possible. You just got to sneak. You got to sneak on stage.
All right. All right. I will. Yeah. My Actually, my mom did sneak us backstage to meet a band once. She loved them
Cool.
so much. They were supposed to do a meet and greet
Yeah.
afterwards. They were bringing back a few different people to the stage door, I guess, like VIPs or whatever,
Hmm.
and the door was still open. So my mom's like, "Well, why not?"
That's what you do. That's what you do. I had friends in high school that went and saw Blink 182 on five people on one ticket
Oh
because
wow.
they didn't keep the tickets back then. They checked it and then you'd hold on to it. So they went in and then
Oh,
they'd go around to the
and then
fire
just
escape
said,
and slip it under the door.
my
And the
goodness.
next five people got in on one ticket. This is
That's
like
I'm
insane.
surprised because that wasn't like it was that would have been still in this century, right? It wouldn't have been in like the 90s or the 80s, right?
no, it was 90s because Blink started in
Oh, right, yeah.
93 or something. So it was
But
a,
even
a,
still, you
around
think
this.
security would be pretty
Yeah,
good about it.
yeah. That was we're at least in Australia, we're very easygoing back then. Like we just
Oh,
people don't care, you know. Um, but yeah, but maybe that's the reason they start ripping tickets now, and
Yeah.
well, the tickets on your phone, you know.
yeah, yeah, they scan them, and
Yeah,
if
just
anyone else tries, it won't go in. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah. All right,
Awesome.
Ryan.
Okay, so Jamie has a picture here. So in TV shows spanning all genres, whatever genre you like, what is on your Mount Rushmore of television shows?
So I would say Star Trek, specifically Star Trek Voyager, and I know that
Ooh.
iteration of Star Trek is very controversial. You either love it or hate it, but that's what introduced me to Star Trek,
Yeah.
and so it is
Okay.
so beloved to me. But yeah, Star Trek in general as well. Um, Power Rangers.
Ooh.
Yep.
I was the weird kid when everybody else stopped liking Power Rangers and thought it was weird. I was the one who kept enjoying it.
Enjoying it, yeah.
So, like after kindergarten, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Power Rangers, whatever. That's for little kids." And I'm like, "Power Rangers is on," and that
Yeah.
continued like my entire life. And then it became cool again, and all of a sudden, I'm
Yeah.
like, "Hey, well, was I right?"
Mm. I actually went to school with when they did one of the spin-off movies, or it's not the main one, but someone from my school played the Red Ranger. Um,
Oh, that's awesome.
I can't remember which. I think it may have been a spin-off movie or a spin-off series. So it wasn't like the main one from the 90s. It would have been early 2000, maybe not late 90s, early 2000s. Um, but
Do you do you know their name? Because I might.
I can look it up. Um,
Okay, I'd be curious because that's just really cool.
because he's got a weird name. It's like
Tell us, Nick.
First and Denari or something. We knew him at school as the Nutella kid because there's an ad. He was famous because he did an ad for Nutella, and he was just like, "I'm a Nutella kid," you know.
That's really
I really can't remember how to spell his name, so I know that he's in Hacksaw Ridge, so I'll go via Hacksaw Ridge.
because I'm looking up now. I'm wondering if I know what series he's in.
Yeah, well, he's Australian, so it's got to be.
Because they for the longest time filmed in New Zealand, which I
Mm.
know is not Australia, but like it's nearby. Yeah, Power Rangers Mystic Force.
Yes, that'd be the one.
Yeah, that's my daughter's favorite series.
Wow.
It's where they become Power Rangers, but also wizards at the same time. So it was like
Yeah.
Harry Potter
Oh, wow.
Rangers.
Power Rangers.
I don't really I remember watching it when I was a kid, but I actually one of the aside from the TV show, the best mediums for Power Rangers is I've read all the comic books for Power Rangers. They're absolutely amazing. I'm still reading them to this day. The way that they dive into, Zordon's race of people, all the different iterations of the Power Rangers as well. So yeah, there's a company called Boom Studios. They do a lot of television properties and movie properties in comics because I'm a massive comic book nerd. And the Power Rangers versions of the comics is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and I've heard so many good things. I haven't read them, but I've heard so many good things about how,
Oh,
they just really expand the universe that
yeah.
you don't get in a 30-minute TV show.
Mm.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, like the fact that I didn't, you actually see flashback to Zordon when he was on his home planet and the race
Oh,
of
that's
people
cool.
and his the missions that he used to go on with his friends and stuff like that. And there's a series called Power Rangers Unlimited, which is a 6-issue series that shows you the origin of the Morphin Grid and how the very very first Power Rangers in history, which was back all the way in thousands and thousands of years ago in on a different planet, how it all came to be. It's really good.
I am gonna have to put that on my wish list
Mm.
because that's
It's Boom Studios. Boom Studios are the ones who do
Mm.
it. They've done it from its inception. I think the comic series has been going probably for about maybe 7 or 8 years now.
yeah, it's been a
I
while.
would encourage you to start from the start because the stories are all interconnecting. The first lot of series had the main 5 Rangers from the very first season of the TV show. Um, but yeah, it's really really good. It's very well done. Very sci-fi. Very yeah. It's amazing.
That's cool. I'm gonna have to look that up now because
Oh, definitely.
that sounds like a
It's
lot of
really good. Really
fun
really
reading.
good.
Yeah. So the guy I went to school with, his name's Firis Durrani or something. Um,
That is that is real. I am jealous
yeah.
because I, I have a face and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I think
that was
I
serious too. So
because I think because my memory of him was school, and everyone just thought he was stuck up, but he was probably just really happy, but like that because it's oh here we go again,
there's a fine line there, you know?
and then it was funny when I go and see Hacksaw Ridge, um, I won tickets to the premiere of all things, so
Oh,
they film it in 20 minutes from my house in the old church I used to go to.
oh
Um,
wow.
so that was a really funny story because the church got an email saying a film company wants to come and look at your church for a movie. And then he goes, our minister's like, oh, uni students want to do whatever. And he just walks into the church and goes, you're Mel Gibson. You know, it's Mel Gibson in the front row. And they chose our church over 60 other churches.
Wow.
And they turned that intersection into 1940s Luxembourg or something.
That's
Um,
incredible.
but yeah, I go and then I win tickets to the premiere and everyone's there. Sam Neill's there, even though he's not even in the movie. And then Ferris Durrani, who I went to school with, was there, and he's in the movie and he says about 8 lines and gets shot, and I'm going like, yeah, you know, it's just, you know, it's a great movie though. But that's my claim to fame.
I mean, that's pretty cool. I guarantee that when I tell my daughter this, that she will be like very jealous and very over the moon. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, Spider-Man was in my church cleaning the windows. Yeah, that's what I saw. Yeah, and then they turned. Yeah, it was the middle of summer, so it's like really, really hot. Like it was 40 plus degrees here Celsius, which is probably double that, something for you. And they'll bring in their own autumn leaves to make it look like autumn.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, what's your third TV show?
Doctor Who,
Okay, classic or new? Or
all of the above.
all of it? All of it. Okay.
All of the above. Yeah. I mean, there are seasons that I'm kind of like, this is not
Yeah.
great, but
Yeah.
for the most part, overall, Doctor Who.
Okay, so important question. David Tennant or Matt Smith? Can't choose.
Like it's like
Yeah, I know.
for me they're neck and neck because it
Yeah.
was like I didn't think I could love anyone as much as David Tennant, and then Matt
Mm.
Smith came along. And so
Yeah.
I feel like they're both great in their own portrayal of
Yeah.
the Doctor. So I feel like they're like the heyday of the New Era series. I think they're
Yeah.
the two best. I think the other actors are brilliant as well. I think
Yeah.
anyone that plays the Doctor has been very good.
Mm.
But the two of them,
Yeah.
just the kind of the whimsicality that they
Yeah.
have is just
Wasn't Peter Capaldi a Doctor Who
Yep.
as well?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I thought
And
so.
so all the best ones went off to be in superhero movies. So,
Yeah.
they're
Well,
just,
and good for them because sometimes you can get typecast into
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that just goes to show how good of actors they are. I mean, like David Tennant is phenomenal.
Matt Smith is one of the best. Like I don't mind that Morbius movie, and it's mainly because of his portrayal
Yeah.
as the villain. And then for him to go and do something completely different like House of Dragon and be an absolute pain, like he's just you hate him. He's like the
Yeah.
what was his name? Joffrey from Game of Thrones that you just wanna see him die.
Yeah.
But he's such a good actor. He's in there's a new movie coming out that he plays like a punk rock drug dealer. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to see this for sure. But yeah, he's such a good actor.
I think he's going to be in one of the Star Wars series too.
Oh, awesome.
Probably.
It might be Matt Smith. I think it's Matt Smith. It's someone from Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I don't think I dreamt it, but I might have.
No. Well, he'd nail the role, whatever he does. So.
Yeah, that's the
thing. I haven't seen Matt Smith in a bad movie or TV show ever.
Yeah.
So same with David Tennant. David Tennant had Purple Man and Jessica Jones. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. They're both just brilliant actors, and
for sure.
Yeah.
All right, bring us home with number 4.
Number 4.
Murder She Wrote's I just said it, but it's the wild card is Murder She Wrote, which is completely out of left field. That is like my favorite murder mystery series. It's very cozy, but I mean, older lady in this quiet town where everyone drops dead, solving everybody's murder is amazing to me. And she's a mystery writer too. So
I saw something on Facebook. It was like, because my grandmother used to love Murder She Wrote. That was how we got her to watch DVDs. We bought her a first DVD player and the first season of Murder She Wrote, and we had to teach her how to use the DVD and change everything because she absolutely loved it. But I saw something on Facebook once saying the town where Murder She Wrote took place is like the highest amount of murders in any United States town in of all time. There must be just like it must be a breeding ground for murderers.
Crazy.
And it's such a wholesome show too. Like it's one of the more you've got CSI, you've got all these shows, and then you've got Murder She Wrote, which you can watch pretty much with anyone. And it's like that town has the most murders in any town in America.
It's just and it's so funny because she talks about Cabot Cove, it's just a sweet little quiet town, blah blah blah. It's like, really, because all I'm seeing are dead bodies.
Yeah, exactly. Come down to Cabot Cove if you want to get murdered.
But surely they'd kill the entire population by the end of it. And I just I always wonder about those. It's a nice little town. Yeah, it makes sense for a movie. There's a murder there or whatever. But if it's a series, it's just like people would be looking up and moving. So, I'm going to move to this town. What's the crime rate? Well, no.
Well, I think Murder She Wrote. I'm looking it up now. I think it went for like 6 seasons too.
Yeah. So it was actually, I think it was 12 seasons.
12. You are right. 264 episodes. So that means at least 264 people in Cabot Cove. Were murdered. At
Like,
least. Because I
I
remember
don't
some of
think they
the
all take
episodes
place in
had.
Cabot Cove, but
Yeah.
a lot of them do.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure some of the episodes had multiple deaths in them too. So, like,
Yeah.
even if you say 2 deaths per
Yeah,
episode, that's
That's
crazy.
over 600 deaths.
Hmm.
So, not a great vacation place.
No,
Yeah,
no, that's
I
fine.
think I had vacation there.
But then,
Yeah, and sometimes
Cabot
people on
Cabot
vacation that
Cove.
get murdered.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
right.
of course.
But
It's like the tagline for the tagline for the Cabot Cove is Cabot Cove, come for the scenery, leave in a body bag.
no, wouldn't it have the sign that it comes in and it's like Cabot Cove population, 500, and then they
Oh
keep
yeah,
crossing it off, crossing it off,
yeah,
crossing it off.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
The
That's one of
capital of
those
the
towns
world.
where they would invest in like a flip thing. So
yeah,
they'd have so many
Yes.
murders they can just take
Yeah.
take a number
Yeah.
off and like
yeah,
the scoreboards.
yeah.
Oh gosh, it's
But
fun.
then
I
at the
love
same
it.
time, people, at least where I live, I don't think people really look into towns they move to because we live in a national park, fire zone. Like at least 4 times in my life, fire has come very close to burning the town down. Um, but people
Mhm.
move up here all the time, and you see the for sale sign go up. You see it sold. You see the people move in, and you see 6 months later the when fire season comes around, the for sale sign goes back up.
Mhm.
Because they're like, oh, that's a nice little town, and they go like, well, have you thought about the fires? Nope.
Yeah, that's something to consider.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's
I,
a nice place to live though, because people wouldn't move there if
Oh
not.
yeah. Oh no. Well, because it feels like a world away. But like I said,
yeah.
like the nearest town is 7 minutes away. So you can drive 20 minutes to get to a really big population. So it feels like you're a world away, but you're still close enough to work and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That's the appeal.
And
But
it's very picturesque up there. Like every time, before I had my accident, and I used to go up to Jamie's place all the time because it's just so not. Because I've always lived in the western suburbs of Sydney, so right in the middle of the city. Like just it's pollution and everything. And to go up to Jamie's place, it was literally less than an hour from my house,
mm,
and it was just the air's cleaner. It's just his backyard is a national forest, and it's just a different feel up there. And I would 100% move up there, even though like the fire season will be scary. But
yeah.
I mean, I know you guys have been close a few times, but in my opinion, it's worth it. But there's a lot of city people that just move up there and
Yeah.
don't think about the fires at all.
Yeah. You just got to be prepared for it. Like
Yeah.
the as a kid, I think there was only one where my father was very worried, so he moved us out of town, while he stayed to fight the fires, and that was when it came 50 meters from the first house. Um, and so like the whole mountain was just thick smoke, and
Mm.
it was really funny because the Druggo's house, three doors up, um, not a Druggo house anymore, but they stayed to fight the fire, but they're all on the piss. And so my dad wanders down to check on them. They're all passed out on the driveway with beers.
Ooh.
You stayed to fight the fire, man. If it came, they would have
Yeah.
been, yeah. So there's a lot of pros and
Yeah.
cons, but let's move on to the next question,
Hmm.
which is, what is your zombie apocalypse plan?
To realize that I will not survive, so offer up my brains early.
Hmm. Okay.
I wouldn't make it.
You wouldn't make it?
I don't think I'd make it.
No.
Just being,
We
being
get
honest. Alien invasion, I'd be great at.
Yeah.
Zombie apocalypse, forget it.
Yeah.
we get that a lot. We get a lot of people saying, "Look, I
No.
realize that I'm not going to do well. I'm just going to spend some time with my family and then just
Give it up.
to give it up." But like our last interview we had, this guy was a personal trainer. I think he did martial arts and he had samurai swords.
On his wall.
So he gave us a good answer. He was like, I'm going to fight. I'm going to use these samurai swords and go and hang out with his mates that go hunting all the time
Yeah.
and try and live his best life. So,
And
yeah.
he
I
lived in
mean, I'd
Chicago.
like to say that's what I do. Yeah, he lived in Chicago,
Yeah.
right in the heart of the city.
No, No, it was on the outskirts. It was said in suburbs, but still, Chicago's not the place you want to be when a zombie apocalypse breaks out.
Uh,
A majorly populated area, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Are you in a heavy populated area, or are you out?
I live
Far out?
in a pretty small town. We got a population of about 800.
Oh
Um,
wow, you're smaller than
and one
me.
stoplight. Yeah, it's but we have. I mean, we do have. I don't. Do you have stores in your town at all?
No, no.
Okay, so yeah, we have like $2 stores.
Yeah,
Um, so you've got smaller town in this in that sense,
yeah.
but population I guess we would have. But yeah, we've got one stoplight. And I'm originally from New York, uh, not the city, but like the
Yeah,
suburbs, and so very different moving here. But I absolutely love it. It's so
yeah,
nice to have a small town feel and not be so crowded and just a slower pace of life.
yeah. Our council, our town council, are against cell phone towers, against shops. They just want to keep it pristine. So
Wow.
I had to change cell phone providers so I could get reception. You know, you know, um,
I,
you know. But like the nearest shop is like literally a 5 minute drive.
oh, that's
But it's not bad. But it's just funny that it's this really old cliche council, and they go like, "We don't want any of this." We don't
that
want
makes
that.
sense.
Yeah, it
I mean,
makes sense.
we just got it was about a year or two ago. We got a coffee shop,
Hmm.
which was great, which I get to do a lot of writing in.
Yeah.
So that was a big plus for me. We have a few like a few restaurants or whatever. Because we live right, in kind of the downtown area, which is
Hmm.
like a block
Yeah.
or whatever. But uh, so it's nice, but yeah.
Cool.
I love, the small town
No, I do.
that
I do.
you're
Yeah.
not you're away from everything, but you're able, like you said, to get to places,
Yeah.
have almost that little retreat place
Hmm.
to live in.
Perfect for a murder. No.
and now, and yeah,
No.
and now that Amazon does next day or same day delivery, I mean, who needs to live near shops anymore? You can just order everything on Amazon and it'll be here the next day. So,
Well, I've got a story for that because
Oh.
we
okay.
have an east and a west for my address, and
Hmm.
the number for west and the number for east, there are two of them. So like
Mm.
I've got a number for west that east also has, and so many of my Amazon packages when we first got here went to the other one. And it was
Wow.
so finally it got figured out. I don't know, but
Yeah.
like we even notes on our Amazon like delivery instructions like check the address.
Yeah.
It's west, not east. You know?
Capital West, yeah. No, well, that's weird
Yeah.
because I live where I live. We have a postcode, and it's the same postcode as two suburbs over.
Oh man.
So
That
I get next day delivery, but my sister who lives in one of the other suburbs doesn't. So they drive past her place to get to my place because they're going off a postcode that's
oh, that's so dumb.
on the other side of the river. It's so funny. It's just like I, I get next day delivery, but my sister doesn't. It's just so they send stuff to our place now.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, Ryan, bring us home.
All right. Yeah. Question number 5, the final icebreaker question. Are you familiar with Bill and Ted and Bill and Ted's Excellent
Yes.
Adventure? Bill and Ted. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. All right. So Bill and Ted arrive outside your house in their phone booth time machine and say, "Whoa, dude! Rufus asked us to give you a free ride in in our phone booth time machine. Where are you going to go?"
So I actually have two answers because
Okay.
one of them is a little more serious and might bring the
Mm.
mood down, but it is what I would it is seriously what I would ask them to do.
Yeah.
I had a good friend that passed away a few years ago, and
Mhm.
I would go back in time and try to find a way to save his life.
Wow.
So that's the more
Yeah.
serious one. But
That
my
I can 100% get behind that.
Mm.
My mum passed away. I think it's 15 years next year ago, and she smoked all her life. And essentially, that was what she didn't die from lung cancer, but she died from a heart attack. Even though she was the fittest one of our whole family, And I would do the same. I would go back in time to when she was 15 and started smoking and say, "Do not smoke or you will die when before you turn 50." And
Yeah.
just literally drill it into her head so that because my mum was my best friend. So like we were just so close. So that I can 100% get behind that answer. I think that one good thing you can do with time travel.
Mm.
Yeah, that's kind of that was one of the things. Like after he died, I was like, it was one of those moments where it's like, can this be a real thing, please? So we
Mm.
can,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and I think, whenever we lose loved ones, we definitely feel that way, and we want,
Yeah.
a little more time, or
Yeah.
to try to, we wish that we could go back and change things.
Definitely. 100%. And what was your other answer, Tommy Lee?
My other answer would be more selfish. I would want to go back to the mid 20th century and become best friends with C.S. Lewis, because he is my
Nice.
literary hero.
Yeah.
Everything
Awesome.
he's written, and, just reading biography and stuff about him, he seemed
Yeah.
to be a very, very interesting personality and probably
Mm.
a fun person to be around.
So
Cool.
would you say that he was your inspiration for why you're a writer now?
No, I actually got into his work fairly late, as
Okay.
far as
Yeah.
I wasn't even when Narnia came out, like when it was coming out on, and not when it first came out. I'm not that old, but like
Yeah.
the Disney movie, Disney, Lion, Witch,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Wardrobe.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wasn't really even interested. It didn't like it wasn't on my radar, and then I
Mm.
had some like, but I had like listened to the first book,
Yeah.
Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe, Magician's
Yeah.
F, you want or
Yeah.
whatever. Um, the how I got interested in wanting to see the movie was I had a random dream about Narnia, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I do want to see that movie. That'd be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Just birthed so much of a love for Lewis, but in
Mm.
me, um, I would say not for writing, but maybe has influenced some of my writing. Though I
Okay.
hesitate to say that just because um, being like, oh, C.S. Lewis is one of my influences,
Mm.
then people
Mhm.
might think, oh, so you're gonna write like C.S. Lewis, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
have no, you're
No.
that caliber of writer,
Yeah.
have that action.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, well, since you, I got your book already from Kindle because I'm on Kindle Unlimited. So,
Oh, thank
as soon as Jamie sent me the run sheet, and I went because when Jamie sent me the run sheet, I go to your website and um, it looked really good. We'll touch on that in a moment. But now that you said Power Rangers is one of your favorite TV shows, and I'm kind of guessing that was a little bit of an influence in your writing because you've got teams
yes,
that get superpowers and stuff like that,
yes.
and it's very sci-fi. So now that you've said that, it makes me want to read it even more. So
Mm.
Oh,
I'm a massive reader. I read a lot at the moment. So I'm really looking forward to getting into your book.
Mm.
awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm excited to hear that.
Oh, definitely,
Well, let's
definitely.
segue into the good stuff. So, what we generally like to do is ask you your author origin story. So, how did it start for you? How'd you get into it, and how'd you essentially get to the point where you released a book? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I always loved making up stories. I am a perpetual daydreamer, and I was a daydreamer from like day one of my life, it seems. Um,
Mhm.
and at some point, I started, writing stories down, um, writing scripts, different things. I would write honestly when I was in like fourth, fifth grade. I would write Power Ranger fan fiction,
Yes.
as
Yeah.
scripts. Like, oh, this is gonna be whatever. Um, and it was about um, probably about seventh grade where I got the idea that became this book, but the book compared to the idea, it's very
Mm.
different. But I got that idea and remember writing down ideas in a notebook during gym class. I don't know why I wasn't participating in gym class, but I'm sure I was thrilled that I wasn't. Uh, writing down stuff, and even I wrote this concept as a series of scripts, kind of like, oh, it'd be so cool if it was ever a TV show, but mostly it was just for fun. And so always was daydreaming about these particular characters, this particular story, from middle school to high school to college. I had playlists on my back then probably iPod, or whatever. That would kind of songs that kind of narrated the
Mm.
story or maybe think of the story. Um, but I never actually thought, oh, I'll write a book until really after I got married. It was about 2013. I thought, okay, I'll start, writing this down as a book. And I started writing it. And even at that point, I wasn't really aware that indie publishing was even a thing.
Mm.
I was just writing it for fun. I was writing it because these characters were living rent free in my head, and I needed to get this out at some point. But also because writing just really de-stresses me. When I am really stressed out, if I can get away and enter into another world by creating that world, it just really is such a release and such a cathartic experience for me. So over the course of 10 years, um, as I was, I just got married. We had 2 kids over those 10 years. We moved twice. I graduated with my master's degree. In between all of that, I was coming back to this story and starting and stopping and everything. And eventually realized, oh, this could be something that could actually be published. So let's explore that route. And so finally in 2023, actually released it, which was just an amazing experience because it's like this it truly felt like my child because these characters have been in my life actually longer than my wife. I told you I met her in 9th grade. So very long time. We've known each other, I think 22 years now, or 24, something like that. And these guys have been around most of my life, these characters. So it was really cool to do that.
Awesome. Now, does your wife act as your beta reader, or does she check your work, or are you just like, this is mine?
She is my first beta reader.
Yeah.
And my pre-beta reader. Like they'll be, and we we have modified the way things are going to work for the second book that I'm writing now versus the first book, because I used to just give her, okay, I just wrote this scene, read it. Okay, I've gotten up to this point, so read what I've got so far. To the point where, like, when she actually was reading the finished product, she's like it was hard for her to get through the first few parts because it's like she had read it 4,000 times.
Yeah.
And there were moments too. She's like, "Wait a minute, I don't remember that." It's like, "Yeah, I changed that." Oh, well, I thought this way. So now it's kind of like, okay, you get kind of a midway through and then close to the product. But she is the one that really, actually, in 2021. No, it's 2020 actually. No, at some point, at some point in time, I thought it was finished. I had her read it, and she was like, something's missing. And so her aunt actually got me connected with a really great developmental editor that she knew, and gave me a lot of really helpful feedback. And I went back through the manuscript a few times and just changed a lot of stuff that made it what it is. So yeah, it's really helpful. My wife is not going to be the type of person to say this is excellent no matter what. She's going to be lovingly honest and say, this doesn't work. This needs to.
Well, that was my question. Did she give you honest feedback, or is she one to just say, it's really good and not have much feedback? So yeah, she's very honest with you, is she?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's what couples are supposed to do, man.
Yeah, no,
100%. No, definitely. I would have it no other way. Like, my wife's exactly the same, because I used to be, me and Jamie used to be in punk rock bands, and I used to write stuff and I used to give it to my wife and say, what do you reckon? Even though it's just songs, but I was like, and then I'd sing them and I'd be like, I need your honest opinion. I don't, want you to sugarcoat things and tell me everything's perfect, because I definitely know it's not. So that's definitely the person that you want to read it, not someone who's just going to say, it's all great, unless it is all great, and then
And
Yeah.
even to bring it back to C.S. Lewis, because he was friends with Tolkien, and didn't Tolkien absolutely hammer Narnia?
Yeah,
You
no.
know?
Well, Lewis almost didn't publish it because of
Yeah, I
that.
know. Didn't he like?
yeah,
I heard he threw it in the bin. You
He
know,
was
just
he was
like
going to, and it was
yeah.
I think he bumped into one of his students that he helped
Mm.
give feedback for like a children's story or something, and he read the first few chapters to him, and the person was like, this is great.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, if it wasn't for, I think his name was Robert or Roger
Yeah.
or something, Roger Lancelot Green or
Yeah.
something. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have Narnia.
Mm.
Um,
good. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I'm glad he didn't listen to this J.R.R. Tolkien guy. I mean, what does he know about good writing?
I mean, I am a little salty at Tolkien because of
Yeah.
that, but at the same
Yeah, of
time,
course.
I mean, it's Tolkien. I mean,
Yeah.
he's
He's the
brilliant
king.
in
Yeah.
they're both, so
Yeah. That's it. That's just funny.
Yeah, no, I'm glad because I'm a massive Lord of the Rings fan, but I also absolutely love the Chronicle of Narnia. Like I was
um,
lucky enough to have to read them in school,
Mm.
back when I was in school. So that introduced me to that whole world. And then I think there was a BBC
Oh, so bad.
series.
So
It was
bad.
so bad, yeah. It was so long ago, but when you were young, you were like, "Oh wow, this is amazing."
Yeah.
And then we obviously got those really, really good movies,
With Liam Neeson.
with Liam Neeson, exactly. Um, but yeah, yeah, it's hard to imagine, we possibly could never have been introduced to the works of C.S. Lewis if
Mm.
he just listened to what Tolkien said. That's
Yeah.
insane.
well, I mean, I think it goes to show that you can't listen to just one
Yeah,
critic,
Yes. Yeah.
multiple critics. You
100%.
have to go to multiple people
Yeah.
and take kind of take the general consensus of what you're receiving rather than just
Mm.
one person, because everyone's opinionated, everyone's got an opinion. They're coming from a
Yeah.
different kind of approach or how they feel about
Mm.
literature.
Yeah.
Um, and sometimes you're gonna give your work to someone who, you really haven't written it for that particular person or that
Yeah.
particular audience. So it makes sense they're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but yeah, that's
We were talking with someone who was on the podcast a while ago, Matthew J. Turner, shout out to him. And he
Mhm.
was talking about how when he gave copies for reviews to people and someone reviewed it and they said, I think they gave it like 2 or 3 stars, and it was just like, it's not for me, or whatever. Like it's like it's like someone who doesn't even like the genre, and it's just like, shouldn't we give it to people who like fantasy if it's a fantasy? Shouldn't you give it to
Yeah.
people that like, you know, romantasy if it's romantasy, like give it to your
that's
target audience.
yeah. And my wife is actually, when she like rates things on Goodreads, she's very good about, like, she will rate it according to the place it's in. Like if it's a children's book, she's going to evaluate it as a
Yeah.
children's book.
Yeah.
Do I give it 5 stars as a child, not as an adult reading it, but like
Yeah.
for a children or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the way that reviewing should be done in a perfect
Yeah.
world. You take it for the genre it's in. It's like, if it's
Yeah.
not for you, okay. But
Yeah.
what was the quality of the work,
Yeah.
rather than like I just didn't like it or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you want if someone's going to give it a low ranking, like if I, for whatever reason, if I give something, a 2 or a 3, because I do a lot of rating on Goodreads, if I give something a 2 or a 3, I'll write exactly what I did not like
Mhm.
about that book, not just like it wasn't for me. Because honestly, if it wasn't for me, like aside from sci-fi, because I'm not really a massive sci-fi fan. I like Star Wars and a bit of Star Trek. But in general, I'm not a massive sci-fi guy, and that's why I was like, when I read Jamie's book, not to plug, and I'm sure I'll get the same feeling when I read your book. It's actually getting me into a genre rather than, so that way in my review of Ancora, I can say, as someone who doesn't like sci-fi, this is a good sci-fi book. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like that, essentially, that I will take a chance on genres that I don't normally read. Like I read our one of our sponsor, Rebecca Cassells, who's a really good friend of the show. I read her latest book, and it's just a pure tale of romance and of, not like a romantasy. It's just a tale of two people who fall in love after one of them loses their significant other, and it is really good, and it's not something I would generally normally read. So yeah, I know there's a lot of people out there like me that are willing to take a risk on a different genre, but I mean, that's how you review things. You don't review things and just say, it's not for me. Well, then why did you read it in the first place?
Yes. I even hate the people that leave like a 1 star and say nothing.
Yeah,
Just 1 star.
exactly.
It's just like,
that's just horrible.
Yeah, and I'm always with those. I'm kind of like, say something, or like what like
yeah,
was it that bad? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's like someone. I mean, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because how are you supposed to know, whether it was your writing or whether it wasn't their genre or whether it was,
Yeah.
you don't know. It's not really fair for you guys. And one, it doesn't help because it will bring down, your average rating. But there's no way that you can know, well, did this person go into this book, not liking it to begin with? Or, was there an actual problem with the writing?
Yeah.
So that those people just shouldn't be allowed on to review things.
Yeah.
That should be
Yes.
If you don't like it, keep it to yourself unless you're going to give some positive or some criticism.
You don't have anything nice to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think if truly you feel, if someone truly feels like a work was bad, and want to leave a 1 star review, yeah, that's it's totally up to that person. But to explain, like, this is why, or this is what was wrong with the thing, and
Yeah, exactly.
rather
like
than yeah.
Like we had an author on a little while ago who wrote a Western, or Western inspired, or Western aesthetic or whatever.
It was a fantasy.
There's no way that, like I was honest with him. I said, I'm really sorry, but there's probably no way that I'm going to read the book because I don't like Westerns. So that would be like me reading that book and going, I don't like Westerns, and giving it 1 star. His writing could be completely amazing and be the best writing that's ever been done.
Yeah.
But I don't like that genre, so I'm going into it with a bias. Even if I did read it, I'm already going into it thinking I'm going to hate it.
Yeah. It's kind of like, what is the quality of the work versus it's not just, did I enjoy it or not enjoy it? Although I think that's probably the majority of what reviews are. But was this a solid work? Because I think you could leave. I think it's possible for a person to leave a very positive review, but also at the same time say, I didn't enjoy it. I feel like I've read books like that where it's like, you know what, this is not something that I would want to read the second one of, but it was a solid book and it was well written. But it's not my genre, or it's not something that I really feel like I could be invested in.
Definitely.
Well, let's get talking about your book. I'll bring up the cover first because I feel it's good if we judge the cover and then get inside the book, if you know what I mean.
Sounds good.
You know what I mean? I'll just fire it up.
And I normally ask about the questions about the cover too. So because as I said, I'm a massive comic book nerd. I grew up reading comics and books, and I figure it's a really good the cover is just as important as the story, because when you think about it, the cover, whether you're buying it online or whether you're buying it in a bookshop, the cover is going to get me to pick that book up and then find out more about it. So you're going to want to have the cover is just as important as what's in between that cover. So I really liked your cover. I feel like it pretty much gives readers an idea of what we're going to get. Obviously some teenagers, some angsty looking teenagers on the front. So did you come up with that design yourself, or did you contract someone else out to do that cover for you?
So I used a cover designer, and what was really great is they gave me like a whole questionnaire, describe the book, describe your characters. And then I sent them images, like three different images for each character. Like this is the look I'm thinking of when I think of Calvin or Malcolm or
Mhm.
Walker. Um, and they came back with this, and I was really impressed. The only thing we really modified was the guy in the center, who's Walker, originally was wearing a tank top, and I'm like,
Okay.
Walker's not.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um, but other than that, what you see is what they came back with, and I was really very impressed and very happy with it. So they really listened to what I had said and how I described
Yeah.
things, and went with it.
That's what you want. And I now that Ryan said it and we've talked Power Rangers, I can feel a Power
Mhm.
Rangers vibe, especially with the symbol behind, it's just like it seems to be that's what you're going for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very much. And what you see in the book, and this is not a spoiler, but like that's the logo on their armored suits.
Hmm.
Um, and it's actually a play on their last name. Their last name is Starling, and Starling is a type of bird.
Hmm.
Um, so
Okay. I
little
like it.
tidbit.
So are they like brothers or
They are
yeah,
brothers,
yeah.
yeah. They are brothers who are 14, 15, and 16. So Malcolm is the oldest. He is the jerk of the three. Really doesn't get along with Walker, who's the second oldest. And Malcolm's kind of, the partier, doesn't really respect dad, mad at
Mm.
him a lot about a lot of things. Walker's the total opposite. He's the one in the center where, um, you know, always do the right thing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
get the perfect grades. And he is in a band.
Mm.
Um, he's a musician. And then youngest brother Calvin, he is um, he has an anxiety disorder. He gets bullied frequently. He's also a musician in his own right, but does not have the ability, or doesn't feel he has the ability to perform. And so he writes music for his brother's band.
Mm.
Um,
Okay.
so in the midst of all of this, they discover that their dad, who is, according to their father, he is an IT guy at Lion Technologies, that actually he is running a secret organization to stop an alien invasion. That their aunt, who is like super brain genius, uncovered a transmission about these aliens who are coming to attack Earth. And so they started this organization, the Starling Institute, but they didn't tell the brothers. She didn't tell their dad didn't tell them, and so um, they find out, uh, and largely they find out when the aliens come earlier than the
Thanks.
institute expected.
Wow.
And dad, who's been preparing these four suits to fight these aliens, um, through a series and a comedy of errors, the brothers wind up taking them on instead of the people that the dad had been training, who are, highly trained, people, military folk or whatever, that would actually be able to,
Mm.
have the training that you would expect to put on, you know,
Yeah.
an armored suit to
Yeah.
fight bad guys. No, it winds up being the 14, 15, and 16-year-old, and their dad, because he takes on a suit as well. But
Mm.
yeah, that's kind of a little bit about what happens. And I do kind of like to talk about it as Power Rangers, but with a lot more character development,
Mm.
family
Mhm.
dynamics, and some more angst. Uh,
So a little more darker than woo.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not. Yeah, I mean, it's, yeah, definitely not
Yeah.
as campy as Power
Yeah.
Rangers. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say it's not super dark,
No,
but
but
they're
yeah, just
definitely,
yeah.
yeah, it's a little more. Um, it's less campy.
Yeah.
I think is. And
That'll be it.
it, part of the story is not so much even, I mean, there's a lot of action, there's a lot of fighting the bad guys, but there's also a lot of, they're teenagers, they're in high school, they have their lives. How do they live their lives in the midst of, now we
Mm.
have to save our town, we have to save our city, we have to save the world, and we're witnessing people dying.
Yeah.
and we're fighting against this maniacal guy, and his army. Um, and then how do you go back into being bullied? And how do you go from that back into, you know, and how does that play out if, say, Malcolm's out partying and, drinking
Mm.
a ton and then
Yeah.
gets a call, oh, guess what? The Acronians, the aliens are attacking. Well, how do you do that when you're completely sloshed? Did they say sloshed in Australia?
No, I know that we know the term.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. Um, but yeah, so just kind of things like that. So it's not just they're superheroes, but they're teenagers
Yeah, the
who now
kids still.
have added that to their lives.
Yeah.
And so there's all
And
that drama going on as well.
I think that's a really interesting dynamic to have. It's always a good story. It's a true hero journey. These kids are not even 18 yet, and yet they're thrust into doing things that not even seasoned veterans would be doing. And people tend to forget they're still kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They still have they still have the things that kids go through. Like they're going through adolescence, they're going through changes in their body, as well as being able to fight off an alien invasion. So you've got to take that into consideration, as well as they can't just be fighting aliens all the time. You've got to deal with all aspects of their lives.
Yeah. And the big thing for Calvin, who's the youngest, is he has an anxiety disorder. And so like if someone like was sick around him, he's gonna be thrown into a panic attack.
Yeah.
And now he has to figure out how he does this without really even wanting to take up this man and fight. I don't want to spoil the story, but basically he's a very reluctant superhero because of that. And so how does he work through all of that when learning to do something that he never wanted to do, which definitely increases his anxiety levels to a very high level.
So what scale of alien invasion is this? Is like they just turn up and start shooting people? Like give us a bit of a teaser on the arrival of these aliens.
So they arrive really in the downtown area of Nightdale, where the boys live, and they start shooting for a few minutes, and then it stops. And Rain, who is the main character, he's the prince of the Acronian Empire, he appears. Actually, no, his second in command appears and basically makes a speech and says, "This is this is what happened on our world. We used to have terrible things happen, terrible leaders, and then our emperor's arcane. He came in and he made things, good things happen. And we know you've had issues here too. So we're going to make this town the shining capital of our empire on this planet. And by the way, this change of power is not optional." And so it's like this. It's almost like this. Hey, I'm bringing you some good news. By the way, you resist us. Not going to go well.
Exactly.
And so yeah, it gets into, and so you get a little bit in the beginning of the lore of how this empire came to be, at least from the alien side. They're going to give you the propaganda, and it's only later that you hear the true story of what really happened. But yeah, it starts like that. It starts on a smaller scale. And there's question in the book, like, why here of all places?
That's good.
And that does get answered. But yeah, that's kind of, yeah. So it's not so much War of the Worlds. It's more of a localized. It starts localized, and yeah, start. If you decide to obey, hey, yeah, it's great. You'll have a great place in this new empire. And if not, well, things will not turn out well for you, and when further killing begins.
That's it. Yeah. So inspirations for like the aliens because I love alien movies. I love Independence Day. I could rattle off all the alien movies I love, but was there any influences to your design of them?
So it's hard because when getting asked about my influences, sometimes I really don't know. I have to really think through it.
Yeah,
Um, for the design of these guys, I don't know. Um, part of it was just like I want them to look other, and so
yeah.
like they don't have noses. They actually
Okay.
breathe. They have like nostrils below their earlobes.
Ooh,
Um, and they come in a variety of, like some of them are blue with green hair, some of
yeah,
them are red, some of them are
yeah,
tan. So, so they have this variety of,
hmm,
and that very much mirrors their planet, which is very lush with like neon colors and
yeah,
neon, bushes and grass and um, so part of it was just like I want to create something different.
yeah,
Um, and that's kind of what, as I was describing it, it kind of like, I think I was describing it. I was at a restaurant having a chicken sandwich
hmm,
or a cookie or something and just writing, and that's what came out. Um, but as far as like influences from my own reading and stuff, um, I don't know if you're familiar with the Animorph series, which came
hmm,
out in the 90s. I devoured those books as a fourth and fifth grader, or third
yeah,
and fourth, fifth, whatever, however old I was.
yeah,
So I think there is an influence there in some way, even if I can't directly point to it.
yeah,
And certainly just Star Trek in general.
mm,
Um, I love, again, I love Voyager, but I love Next Generation.
yeah,
Um, and you get a feel, and then yeah, so kind of things like that. But I'm not sure specifically like how this
yeah.
particular and really I had most of their um most of their story written before I went back and described them.
Wow.
Um, so it was kind of the personality came
Yeah,
first and what they looked
yeah,
like came later. Then I had to edit certain things so
yeah,
that if I talk about one of the good guys punching and breaking their nose, I'm like, well, that's not going to happen anymore.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't have those. Yeah.
Sometimes ideas just come to you, you know? Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I especially love the, join or die. It's just, it's even like very Roman-like in their behavior.
Yeah. Well, it is interesting, to kind of look back in history too,
Mm,
um, of different leaders and how they present things. And um, as I'm working through my second book, I'm looking into um, some of the history of Cuba actually, because the characters are they're half Cuban on their mother's side, and uh, just seeing like what I can work with there. Um, because history definitely, I mean, history repeats itself,
yeah,
and so history inform. I was listening to someone on Instagram the other day talking about, if you're writing a fantasy novel, go steal from history and
yeah,
then bring it in,
yeah.
you know, whatever. Um, yeah,
There's a quote I heard. It said, History doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes," or something like that. Like
yeah. I mean,
so it's
it's true. You can see
yeah,
those very similar patterns.
yeah.
Um,
Like, yeah, it's just, and even history is just full of so many cool stories. Even if you dive into mythology, a lot of people love writing,
yeah, yeah,
tweaking mythology, where do you think Hercules came from and all that stuff. It's just so much to do with it.
yeah.
So you mentioned you're working on another book. Is this a sequel to the
It
first one?
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's going to be a series of 3 or 4 books, and that's largely going to be determined on where I find a good stopping point in the second book,
Mm,
whether it'll be 3 or 4. If this one winds up being too long, I'll probably cut it in half. Um, yeah,
awesome. Awesome. Um, do you do you see spin-offs being an option, or do you have other projects beyond this?
I do. So I actually finished a small novella,
Hmm?
um, completely different, um, kind of theme. Basically, this college student goes out to eat, and he's the only one at this restaurant that he's been going to, while he's at college. And that day he happened to, fail his final, and he goes, and the waiter that's normally there, or that started 2 weeks ago, that he's been seeing, is there, but no one else is there. He got there a little late for lunch or whatever. So he and the waiter are talking, and then come to find out the waiter has poisoned his food and he's getting himself kidnapped. And he finds out that the waiter is in fact claiming to be his father, and he's kidnapped him because the parents he thinks are his parents are actually going to uh, harm him. They're going to kill him because he's the key to um, a cache of weapons and different things. And the supposed dad is claiming that he was a spy and whatever, and different things like that. And I was actually going to release that last year, but I wound up injuring my arm, and so anytime I would go back to like go over my beta feedback and rewrite certain scenes, it kind of hurt. So then I got a taste in my mouth, so I put it down for a year.
You couldn't have just done the Tolkien thing, because I think it was Tolkien who wrote Lord of the Rings with 2 fingers, like that. Like,
I guess I could have hindsight,
Yeah, but then, Tolkien.
Eventually that will come out. I mean, and that's that I did just to be like a freebie for signing up for my list.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Which I don't know if that'll turn into anything or not. And then something else that is on the back burner is a story about well, it starts out in the prologue where you've got this 5-year-old kid, and he's being babysat by his uncle, and his parents, who are out on a date, are coming home, and they're carrying another 5-year-old kid, which they found on the side of the road, and he's not human. And you find out that his family landed seeking refuge and wound up getting killed, and they told him to run. And so he's shivering by the side of the road, and these people pick him up and they take him, and it flashes forward to middle school, and kind of figuring out, well, he's an alien. They've altered him to look human, and what is his life like, and what is it like, so I've kind of been fleshing that out. I've got a few chapters done, but nothing
cool.
Nothing fully developed.
As long as there's more coming.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You've got to keep writing. I think now would be a perfect time to jump into our bonus questions. Ones you have not been prepared for, and I will go first because Ryan loves the last question. So I'll make sure I do right this time.
Make sure you do. You've done well last episode. The first time you didn't skip a question. So let's see if we can keep that up, Jamie.
Okay. Well, the first question is, what is a book from your early reading days that has stuck with you?
Oh, let's see. I would have to say the first Animorphs book, because that was one of my gateways into science fiction. I mean, I love Power Rangers from an early on, standpoint, but as far as like reading science fiction, that it was just, I was hooked. First book, I was hooked, and my mom actually signed us up for they had a thing where like they'd send you 3 books a month, because they were like getting these books out so quick. But just the way the alien invasion worked in Animorphs, the fact that you have these kids who are now able to turn into animals, you have the creepy aliens taking over people's brains, you've got this secret, you've got this school club, which is like, oh, how great, how wonderful, but it's actually a front so that they can, get the alien slugs in the kids' brains. It was just so cool, and how they would the kids would figure out, okay, how do we fix this, and how do we fight, even though we don't have anything other than the ability to turn into animals, which is, I mean, it's a great power, but it provides a lot of limitations too. And the characters were just so relatable. it was just so well written. And I remember going back, um, probably 10 years rereading a bunch of them, and I'm like, yeah, this doesn't feel like, oh, this is just a kid's book. It feels like I was just as engaged. And my son and my daughter have started reading the series, and they both really enjoy them as well. So it's like passing it on.
Yeah, I remember loving the show when that came out too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
who was it? Iceman from X-Men, but he was a twin.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
Sean and
Yeah,
yeah,
Ashmore.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think his brother was in, or one of them was in. I can never know which one's which.
Yeah.
I know, because
I
they're
know.
identical twins.
I always have to look.
Yeah, I know.
Like, IMDb. Which one are you?
I think they did a Smallville episode together too. And they were twins.
Okay.
Or was that Supernatural? I can't remember. All Canadian mishmash. I'm watching. Well, one of them is in The Rookie, and I think that's the Iceman one. But yeah.
But yeah, I did what you did with Animorphs, I did with Goosebumps. My mum used to buy me one every week, and I was the same. I was like, how are they doing these? How are they bringing these out so quickly? But yeah, no, that was my mum's way. She's like, okay, he likes horror. How am I going to get him to read more when I was
Yeah.
little? And it's like, he's horror books, sort of, well, horror books for kids.
Spooky books, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I can definitely resonate on that one, because I remember, fond memories of getting home from school on a Wednesday afternoon and having a new Goosebumps book there, and trying to read it before the next Wednesday so I could make sure that I had, I'd make sure I'd be ready for the next one. And it's just, that definitely sounds like what you did with Animorphs.
And I remember too reading a lot of Goosebumps. I loved them. Actually, I was Slappy for Halloween one year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That the new series on Disney Plus, which is, I think, just had its second season, is actually quite good as well. They incorporate a lot of the old favorite characters like Slappy and all those different ones. So yeah, it's very good. Check it out if you haven't seen it. It's a little bit darker, but it's still really good. David Schwimmer's in the second season. Justin Long is in the first season, so it's very good. But all right, question number 2. If you could spend the day with any fictional character, who would it be and what would you do?
Any fictional character.
Doesn't have to be a book. It can be across any medium.
Yeah, it can be anything. Movie, TV show, video game, whatever you like.
Well, that's really tough. Yeah, I'm totally blanking. I'm like, what stuff do I like now? Probably I'm gonna say Captain Janeway.
That's what I thought. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I am, because I feel like she would be fun to have a chat with. Yeah, I think, and I would enjoy discussing diplomacy with her.
Just have a political chat.
No, that was my. But seriously, I mean, I started watching Star Trek in 6th grade. Actually, I would stay up till like midnight to watch it because the reruns would air. So I stayed up really late on. And that was that was the first time I heard the word diplomacy.
Yeah.
And so I always thought it was interesting how, she's like, oh, can't we just reason through this like too civilized? And then the alien would, go off screen. And he's just like, I guess not, No, I think that would be fun. And she's to me a very, just a very caring character and captain. You have to, there's a certain type of character you have to be if you're going to get your crew alive from the Delta Quadrant back to Earth.
So awesome. Would you want to just have a chat with her, or would you like to go on a mission with
oh no, I'd totally go on a mission with her. I mean, give me Voyager, let me fly the ship.
I want in. Yeah.
Hey, there's no limitations, so you can ask. She can always say no, but
we're attacking the Borg. We're whole 9 yards.
Can I shoot that? What about that? Oh, yeah, that'd be fun. All right, the next question. This is probably my favorite. Now, the more that I think about it. Okay, so I'm going to set the scene for you. This is the image. You're in a log cabin. Nice fire going. Someone is going to come in with your favorite book and read it to you. They can be living, dead, and anyone from history. You are free range on this, but we want to know the book and we want to know who is reading it to you.
Okay. Liam Neeson,
Yeah,
Ooh.
nice, nice.
and he is going to read to me. Let's see. Hmm. I'm going to go with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I mean,
Why
fitting
not?
considering, but I think that
Well, I
would be
mean,
a very fun experience.
yeah, well, think about it. He was Aslan, so there's
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
And the equivalent is that Andy Serkis does Lord of the Rings. He
Yeah.
reads Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings,
And
so
he actually does that.
yeah.
He's got he does the Audible version, and there's two versions on there that you can get through Audible. One that Andy Serkis does, and one that another random guy does. And the Andy Serkis one's amazing. He does
Hmm.
all the voices,
It's amazing.
and it's just so good. I mean, his normal voice. Like there's this game I was playing, Expedition 33. I just finished it yesterday, and he was the voice of one of the main bad guys, and just his normal voice is really good. So I mean,
Hmm.
the fact that he can do a whole bunch of other ones is great. But
Yeah,
I think I really like Liam Neeson's voice. I think he would be able to
yeah,
do it justice.
Yeah, I think so too.
Awesome.
I mean,
All
he could read
right.
the and still sound good, so.
yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, question number four. What is a must-read indie book? And you can't say your own because we're all going to read it anyway.
Um, so I would say Sam Paisley has written a great book, especially if you're a fan of like shows like Stargate SG-1,
Hmm.
called Elements of Time, The Winds of Change, which I think is really very well written, very enjoyable. A lot of lore, a lot of world building. Um, I really enjoyed reading it, and he's also a great guy. So
Awesome.
Awesome.
I will pop that up on the screen for you guys, and it. I just looked at the cover and I'm going like, wow, I like it. You know,
no, the cover I like. Oh my goodness, I want a poster of that cover.
oh,
It's so
100%. Um, this is what I love with I love book art so much that like with my Ancora book, plug, it's a hardcover, so I take off the sleeve and it's just the art. You know? I
that's nice.
love stuff like that. So I think
Yeah,
more people need to do that because the cover art is more than just the words, if you know what I mean. It's I
yeah.
yeah, 100%. Um, all right. Next question is if you could take a protagonist from your book, anyone, any character, let's just say any character, I'll make it free range, and put them into the works of someone else, who would you take and where would they go? Again, free range. They can hang out with Spider-Man if they want. They can, but it's got to be fiction to fiction.
Okay, I would want to see my cranky oldest brother Malcolm in the book, and I would want to put him into. I would want to see how he would do in the Alex Rider series. Um,
Okay.
Right.
I would like to see how he would do and how him like I would want to put him and Alex together and see how they would get along or not get along.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've seen some of that. I think it's on Prime, I think. But
Yeah,
is he like he's like a young kid that works for a spy agency or
yeah,
something like that?
he's like Team Super Spy kind of thing. It's based
Yeah.
on a series. I think they have like 13 novels out.
Hmm.
And
Wow.
the series is actually really well done,
Yeah.
which is not always the case
Yeah.
when reading books. But yeah, I would want to see um, if their approaches would be different. I suspect
Yeah.
their approaches to things would be very different.
Yeah.
Malcolm's a just don't even think about it, just do
Yeah.
and whatever, and doesn't always think things through. And I feel like Alex is a little smarter
Yeah.
in that sense.
Cool, cool. No, I can get
I
behind that.
honestly thought you would have I honestly thought you would have chosen Power Rangers. You've proven me wrong.
No, I felt like that's too close.
Yeah.
That's too
Yeah.
close to you,
Yeah.
So I want something a little bit, a
Different.
little
Yeah.
bit, yeah.
No, I get it. I get it.
It's great to have
Okay,
contrast.
sorry.
So it's just great to have
Yeah,
contrast,
definitely.
It's why Deadpool works so well,
Mhm.
because he's just polar opposite. Um, anyway, bring it home, Ryan.
Yeah, okay. So the last question, and this one's my favorite. So you're stuck on a desert island for the rest of your life with no possibility of ever being able to come home. You get to have three books with you. Now, we set some ground rules for this because
Boundaries.
people were just going crazy saying, "Oh, I'll take this series of 10 books and then this." If they're contained under one cover. So, for example, The Lord of the Rings has a special edition where all three books are under one hardcover.
That
That can be
counts.
considered one book, but you can't say, "Oh, I'm going to take the Lord of the Rings trilogy," or you can't say, "I'm going to take the complete works of C.S. Lewis" as one book. You're limited to three physical books. What would you take?
Okay. Um, I would take Lewis's Out of the Silent Planet book from his space trilogy.
Okay.
Because that's kind of like, you're on a deserted island, except you're on another planet. There are similarities. I would take. I would probably take The Hobbit,
Yeah.
and then I would take the Bible.
Yep. We've had a few people say that because
you are the third person.
Well, isn't Jamie? Didn't you say that's like? And I do apologize. I'm not religious, but didn't you say that's like 13 books in one or something?
No, it's 66. It's the
66
ultimate cheat.
books.
It's the
Sorry,
ultimate cheat.
my bad.
It's the ultimate cheat. 66
My bad.
books.
I apologize, but yeah, there you go.
And even look, I've always said, even if you're not religious, there's some cool stories in there. Even if you just read them as fiction, if that's what you believe. But the epicness of like Samson, and there's some epic stories in it. Anyway, but yes, you are the third person. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I can see that. That's a good one. That's a good one to have because, generally if you're quite religious, you've read the Bible more than one time in your life. So it's kind of a book that you can read over and over again. And obviously
always
it
get
strengthen
something new
your
out of
faith.
it.
And yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So I think that is one that I'm happy to say, yes, we do allow because it is under one cover, even though it is 66 books. So well done on that.
Yes.
Yeah, that book alone would be how I would survive on the desert island.
Yeah, exactly.
Praying and a lot of reading the Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe just maybe finally people could get through that darn Leviticus.
I actually really so full disclosure, my day job, I'm a pastor. And so I actually really like the book of Leviticus.
Well, you've probably got through it. It probably makes sense to you. Is that the one with the genealogies? Which one's the one with all the genealogies?
No, that's Numbers. Numbers start like maybe 10 chapters of genealogies. So that can be
okay.
together.
Yeah, okay. That's probably what I was thinking. I need to read it more. But
you got to read it in light of what in light of the New Testament as well.
Yeah,
like Leviticus with Hebrews and different things like that.
It is an incredibly written book. I'll just say that.
Absolutely, yeah.
I highly recommend it. No.
You too.
Okay. Well, that's done. You completed this. You completed it. You
survived.
You survived. All that's left for us to do is give you the floor for you to tell us where we can buy your books, follow you, anything that you want our listeners and viewers to know. Just the floor is yours.
All right. So you can find my books on Amazon. And also, if you happen to live in the Carolinas in the United States, there are 2 bookstores that sell my books, The Book Lady in Monroe, North Carolina, and Jack's Books in Florence, South Carolina. And I say that because if you live near there, don't buy it on Amazon, buy it from the indie bookstore.
Yep.
And I am on Instagram at Tommy-Lee Writes. I'm on Facebook too, but I'm not really on it very much.
Yeah.
kind of, yeah. I can manage one social media platform, and that's about
Yeah.
it, and even not great.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you read my book, leave me a review or send me an email. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Whenever you're listening, that's good because you never know when people are going to watch this. So
No, it could be. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, happy Arbor Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day.
Happy day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right, guys. I'll leave all the links down in the show notes for Tommy Lee's books and social and website and all that stuff. You'll find it down there. If you want to reach out, thetrueandthefictional@gmail.com. But please know that we have a insanely long list of people wanting to come on right now. So reach out. We will get you one.
Just got longer over the last few days.
Yes, it just got longer. We got a lot of people reaching out.
It just got longer over the last, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's not just people reaching out now. It's publishers going, we have all these guests, and we're like, you know. So it's overwhelming, but it's also great because we love doing this. We really do love doing this. We are all about supporting indie authors. So yeah, reach out. All our socials are below. We are now on the dreaded TikTok because of the demand. I'm actually surprised how many views we've gotten just by putting one video up so quickly. It's just insane. So obviously it's the thing to do. So we're there. Yeah, and until next time, keep supporting those indie authors, and we'll catch you on the next episode.